everyone, what's up? It's me here, Megan the Makeup Artist, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, welcome back to another Tuesday, which if you don't know what we do on Tuesdays here, because it is still kind of new, it is where I give you like top 5 / tips on Tuesdays. So, it's all just going to be from my point of view as a makeup artist, and I'm really excited. Last week was my top 5 things that you need to know about your bridal makeup trial, or any makeup trial. Doesn't have to be bridal, but your makeup trial from your makeup artist here, what you kind of need to know, what you need to bring with you, what you need to have ready. So for this week, I thought I would go ahead and take it to the next step from last week's video, which is your top 5 things that you need to know about makeup on the day of your wedding or big event, if there's multiple people getting their makeup done, stuff like that. Mostly weddings. Weddings are my bread and butter, so that's what I talk about a lot, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so first things first, number 1 thing that you need to know or be prepared for from your makeup artist is we always need somebody sitting in our chair at all times. A lot of times, like I said, especially at weddings, I'm doing multiple people's makeup. So not only do I have the bride, but I have her bridal party, moms, cousins, everything, anything and everything. Flower girls, you know, I'm doing a lot of people's makeup, usually on the day of a wedding. It's usually not just the bride. So what I like to do is I like to get kind of like a timeline kind of going and have everybody's name in order of who needs to be in my chair at what time. So usually this kind of coordinates with the hair person and the bride. Just so I'm also staying on track for the whole day and make sure that everybody gets done when they need to, because especially for a wedding, usually time is of the essence. So I always need somebody sitting in my chair, and me personally, I will speak up about it and say something if I do not have somebody in my chair, or if I have to wait for somebody, because like I said, time is money and time is of the essence, especially on a wedding day. So that also means that when it comes to the bride's turn to sit in my chair, usually she's the one that I want to spend most of the time on if I have any extra time, which I usually do allow for, because you know, it's her day and I want her to look great. So if I do need any little extra time, it's gonna be spent on her. So what that means is if there's any other things that need to be done, make sure you get your maid of honor or your mom or any other bridesmaid to do what needs to get done and make sure they know, because that's what I kind of run into the most, is that everybody is coming to the bride and having her get out of my chair to go do this, to go do that, to go talk to this person. So please designate a person to go ahead and do that for you while you are getting your makeup done, because again, usually I'll have another wedding to go to on that day. So not only is it my time that, you know, I need to stay on track for, it is also your time, because I don't want you to have to run late because of me, you know, not being able to get everybody done on time because I don't have somebody properly in my chair. All right, and going along with that, number 2 is that you do need to have a timeline down. So like I said, I like to have a list of people as to who's gonna go at what time. So I always have somebody sitting in my chair, but I also need to let them know that the bride is not going to go first and she is not going to go last. I like to kind of put her in the second half. I usually like to do my bride second or third to last, depending on how big the party is, just because I'm not going to do you last, because if we are on a time crunch, it's not you that I want to put that time crunch on. I do not want you waiting on me to get your makeup done so you can go and get the rest of your pictures. And I've seen other makeup artists do brides last, and it just never works out, because you are the one that everybody's going to be taking pictures of. You need to have pictures of your mom helping you put your dress on and all of that kind of stuff right before you go and do anything else. So I'm not going to do you last. There's going to be a bridesmaid that might miss out on all of that kind of stuff, so maybe that's who you'll want to put last. But it is what it is. And then you're also not going to go first in my chair because I also want your makeup to look the best longest. Now, the makeup I do use does last a really long time and it does have a 24-hour wear to it, but I want your makeup to look the freshest when you're walking down the aisle. So that's where that kind of fits in it, and why you also need to have a timeline of who's going to be sitting in whose chair. So coming in at number 3 is to make sure that you have your makeup look down exactly how you want it. Now, say there were some things that you kind of wanted to change about your eye look or anything like that from your trial, make sure you let your artist know, and then make sure before the day of that you have your look down. You can also, you know, maybe tweak it on the day of. I've done that before, but don't completely change your look on the day of, because that's stressful, not only for you, but stressful for me. And again, time is of the essence. Also, make sure you have a look down for your bridal party. If you are very specific about what you want your bridal party to look like, make sure you have that look down too, so then when the makeup artist shows up that day, they know what to expect. And if you're not particular about your makeup look, then make sure you tell your artist, I don't care, do whatever you feel looks good and is going to just go with the flow, I guess. Make sure it fits the style of the wedding and the color dress that they're wearing. Just do you. That's totally fine too. I have 2 like makeup looks that I can go to and I have in mind for brides that just don't care, clients that just don't care, for a bridal party, which actually I did one of those looks on my channel here. I did a tutorial on it, so I'll make sure to kind of like leave it around my go-to bridal party makeup looks. So yes, so just make sure that your artist knows that you have your look down, you have your bridal party look down, and so when the day comes, it's not a big surprise for anybody, and it makes it so much less stressful. Number 4, so this one is actually kind of like a pet peeve of mine, I guess you could say. Some people just, they don't care. Like I said, it's kind of a pet peeve for me. Usually on the day of, I'm doing multiple weddings, and I usually allow myself enough time to get this wedding done, make sure I have enough time in between the next wedding to, you know, take care of myself. I need to eat, I need time to travel, all of that kind of stuff. And then I have enough time for this second wedding over here. But the thing is that people always last minute wants to ask me if I can add on another makeup. And the answer is always usually going to be no, because I only allow myself enough time for you know, to be able to get everybody done that needs to get done, that signed up for it. And then, like I said, a half hour for touch-ups or anything like that, putting lips on, anything like that. And then time to travel, and then do the same thing at the next wedding. A lot of times what will happen is people will see me start doing makeup on other bridesmaids, and they'll be like, wow, that's really pretty, like I wish I would have got it done. And then they'll ask me like, do you have time to do another face? The answer is, like I said, usually almost always going to be no. If you wanted your makeup done, you should have got in on the first try. I'm sorry, that sounds harsh or mean or however. That's not any means what I'm trying to come across here, but I need to have a final count so I can plan out my day. And so more times than not, no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna have time for an extra face because you didn't want to pay for it to get done, but then you saw me doing everybody else's makeup and you're just like, wow, that looks great, I want in on it. I'm sorry, I don't have the time, and it is what it is. I'm sorry it had to be that way. And number 5. So this one is a little bit weird. It's something I felt like I had to throw in here though. On the day of, again, I guess I feel like the whole theme of this video is like time is of the essence, because like I said, I'm more time than not, I'm doing weddings personally, and I'll have multiple weddings a day. So, usually what that means is I'm there to do makeup in a certain amount of time. So when I'm not sitting there chatting you up and being the most talkative person, don't take offense to it. I'm there to do my job and do it well in as small amount of time as possible. So don't feel offended, don't feel uncomfortable if I'm not sitting there chatting you up. I will try to do my best to be able to talk to you. I am a very personable person, so I do know that about myself, that if I do start chatting you up, like, I'm gonna sit there and talk your ear off and not be doing what I'm there to do. And like I said, I've allowed myself enough time to be able to do this makeup, this wedding, and then get to my next one and do the same thing. So don't feel offended if I'm not sitting there talking your head off, and just, you know, don't feel offended. I feel like I had to throw that in there because more times than not, like, I will sit there and have some like small talk with you, you know, here and there, this and that, making sure that you're comfortable and doing what you got to do, because I'm a very personable person. But if I sit there and I talk to you and try to have a real conversation, I'm not going to be doing much of makeup. Like, I wish I could sit there and like be able to do that, but I'm there and I have a job and I have to be focused on it and get it done on time, because I don't want anybody to be late to their own wedding on my accord. So if I'm not sitting there chatting you up, don't feel offended, like, just don't. But always feel free to ask me questions. If you want to talk, go ahead and talk. A lot of times my chair is a therapy chair, so I'm there I'm there to sit there and, you know, make you feel comfortable, but I'm not sitting there to chat you up and talk about life. Again, like I said, I am very personable, so I will sit there and talk to you, but I'm going to make sure that I got, you know, done what I need to done in the time that I need to get it done in. So again, don't feel offended, but always feel free to ask me questions, talk me up, chat me up, all of that stuff. Just if I don't talk back as much, don't feel offended. So okay, you guys, so that is it for Tuesday's top 5 things you need to know about the day of from your makeup artist. So, whew, it's getting a little hot in here, but yes. If you guys like these videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, welcome to Tuesdays. I hope you guys like it. If there's anything you want to see on Top 5 or Tip Tuesday, let me know. Like I said, we can talk about top 5 palettes, top 5 highlighters, top 5 brushes, I don't know, or we can talk about tips about how to do certain things. Like, we can do a winged liner one day, we can put lashes on another day. Let me know. So leave me a comment down below, and you can find me on any of my social media at blushed.studios. It is linked around here somewhere. So thank you guys so very much, and yeah. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Much love. More time than not, I'm doing weddings personally, and I'll have multiple weddings a day. Usually what that means is I'm there to do makeup in a certain amount of time. So when I'm not sitting there chatting you up and being the most talkative person, don't take offense to it. I'm there to do my job and do it well in as small amount of time as possible. So don't feel offended, don't feel uncomfortable if I'm not sitting there chatting you up. I will try to do my best to be able to talk to you. I am a very personable person, so I do know that about myself, that if I do start chatting you up, like, I'm gonna sit there and talk your ear off and not be doing what I'm there to do. And like I said, I've allowed myself enough time to be able to do this makeup, this wedding, and then get to my next one and do the same thing. So don't feel offended if I'm not sitting there talking your head off, and just, you know, don't feel offended. I feel like I had to throw that in there. I'm there and I have a job and I have to be focused on it and get it done on time, because I don't want anybody to be late to their own wedding on my accord. So, but always feel free to ask me questions. If you want to talk, go ahead and talk. A lot of times my chair is a therapy chair, so. Okay, you guys, so that is it for Tuesday's top 5 things you need to know about the day of from your makeup artist. So if you guys like these videos, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And again, welcome to Tuesdays. I hope you guys like it. If there's anything you want to see on Top 5 or Tip Tuesday, let me know. Like I said, we can talk about top 5 palettes, top 5 highlighters, top 5 brushes, I don't know, or we can talk about tips about how to do certain things, like we can do a winged liner one day, we can put lashes on another day. Let me know. So leave me a comment down below, and you can find me on any of my social media at Blushed Studios. It is linked around here somewhere. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Much love.